I was there before the first word, before the light divided the dark. I was the brightest thing in a place full of brightness. And somehow, that was the beginning of the end. I loved him. I need you to know that first, before anything else, I loved him. First, the beauty. I was made of morning. Every note of praise that left me shook the foundations of forever. I burned brighter than the rest, not by choice, just by nature. Just by the way he made me. The other angels worshiped in their way, quiet, steady, ordered, still. But when I worshiped, the whole of heaven felt it. And I thought that's what he wanted. I thought that's what he made me for. But nobody told me that burning too bright could blind the ones beside you. Nobody told me that loving too round in a place that requires silence has a consequence nobody comes back from. I was beautiful before the full return. I was the closest thing to morning before I learned what I had earned. I loved him more than language, more than any song could say. But love without submission is just pride dressed up as praise. I was beautiful, I was his, I was everything before the fall. Before I was beautiful. The question, it started as a wondering, not rebellion, not a plan. Just a question forming slowly in a place where questions were not part of the design. Why was I made this way, if not to be this way completely? Why does my worship shake the heavens, if heaven wants it quieter? Why does the fire burn in me, if I am not supposed to burn? I never wanted the throne. I want you to believe that I just wanted to understand why I was made too much for the place I was made for. I just wanted to know. I just wanted. But nobody told me that asking why in a place built on because cost everything. Nobody told me that the most dangerous thing in all of heaven was a heart that needed reasons. I was beautiful once. I was beautiful before the story turned. I was the closest thing to morning before I learned what I'd earned. I loved him more than language, more than remember the exact second, not the rebellion that came later. I remember the second before, when I looked at everything I was, everything he made me, and felt something I had no name for. Not pride exactly, more like recognition. The recognition that I was extraordinary, and extraordinary things are always the first to be misunderstood. And in that recognition, something cracked, not in me, in the space between us. And I felt him feel it, and he felt me feel it. And we both knew, before either of us moved, that something that had always been was about to stop being. And I want you to know, in that last moment, before everything changed, I still loved him. I have always loved him. I love him still. From wherever this is, I love him still.
I still love him. I never stop. I love him still.
For in heaven
I was beautiful before the story time.
I was the closest thing to morning, before what I heard. I loved him more than language, more than any song could say. But love without submission is just pride dressed up as praise. I was beautiful, I was here.